I want to take you today to, I think, my favorite painting in the Rijksmuseum in the Netherlands, and that is, you can see it already behind me, the Threatened Swan of Jan Asselijn. And this painter painted this around 1650, so in the golden age of the Netherlands in the 17th century. And every time when I'm going in the museum, I'm thinking like, wow, this is so impressive. So impressive to see this swan that is threatened. You can see the swan is really in a fighting pose. And it's even making it more impressive because one, you see that it looks like there's movement in this painting. Look at the little feathers that are everywhere. And not only that, but what Jan Asselijn did is that the swan is on the normal side. So if you're standing in front of this painting, it's also painted from what we call the frog perspective, as if I am a little frog looking at at the swan. And you can really feel the fear. You can feel the fear, and also the colors that he's using are amazing. You can even see the sunlight, the backlight, a little coming through his feathers on the side. And but let's zoom in a little. First, of course, these feathers, and if you're zooming in on the feathers of the little ones that are some are floating in the water, others are floating in the air. It is so detailed. It's really beautiful how he did that. And then this one, why is it threatened? Why is it for that? We have to go to the left side of the painting. The left side of the painting in the left corner. You've maybe did see that already, but there's a dog coming. The dog is coming towards the swan. So the swan is protecting something, and that is what you can see on the right side. If we're going to the right side on the painting, next to the swan, you see that there are eggs laying in the nest. So the swan is protecting the nest against the dog that is just coming nearby. And you can also see that the swan is scared because if you're going down under the swan, you see some of the poop. So the swan is pooping because it's so scared for the dog that's coming towards him. And Jan Asselijn, he painted these droppings so very carefully. So if we're zooming in, we even see for some of the light, but even some red parts in the poop. So it is I think, a beautiful work. And then the interesting thing is that around 150 years later, some extra things were added to this painting. So, and you can see that they added some text to this painting. So it's basically an allegory for something that happened in the Dutch history. And the white swan is standing here for the grand pensionary, and that you can see under there, the raadspensionaris in Dutch. Um, that was the highest official in Holland at that moment. So let's say the prime minister, and he's depicting Johan de Wit, Johan the White. So the white swan is standing for Johan de Wit. The dog on the side is at the same time the enemy of the state. So the enemy in the state in that moment were almost all our neighboring countries, and the swan is protecting. So Johan de Wit is protecting us against the enemy of the state. And what is he protecting? The little X, and we can see in the X there is written down Holland. So it's protecting Holland. And the interesting thing, by the way, is that this Johan de Witt, he was, yeah, the highest person in the Dutch government for a while, and is also the only prime minister worldwide that has been eaten by his own citizens. But that's something for another video, another time.